To pull the curtain back on Brady during his Patriots run and just how close he was to leaving New England in 2018. The book states, quote, Kraft knew that Belichick's methods were grinding on Brady. Kraft then attempted to clear the air by inviting both of them to his house. But according to the book, the distance between them was obvious. Kraft also met with Brady and Giselle, where Giselle expressed her frustrations to Kraft over how Belichick still treated Brady like, quote, Johnny bleepin' Foxborough. I love that quote. Shannon, does this surprise you?
No. And before I get to the crux of my argument, I want to know why Tom Brady pillow talking. Why is he discussing what's going on at work? That ain't what we do. We don't do no pillow talking.
What are you talking about?
He pillow talking, Coach Belichick. Coach Belichick cursed me out today. He put me on blast in front of the team, baby.
This is reported in a book.
Whoa.
It didn't come from Tom Brady. How do you know it came from Brady?
Whoa.
What if it came from Robert Kraft?
Stop it. Tom Brady pillow talking. Pillow talking, and you know it, Skip Bayless, and you tried to justify your pillow talking.
Maybe Giselle pillow talk.
Well, she wasn't in practice, unless she had practice now. But, Skip, I'm not surprised by this. I've been trying to tell you this all along. And what's happening here, Tom, you don't get to say you were thinking about leaving in 2018. Coach Belichick had already tried to serve you divorce papers. So you can't say, oh, I'm getting out of this marriage. Nah, he served you first. Tom Brady never had a problem with Coach Belichick's methods until they came and sat on his door. Because he did it to Lawyer Malloy. He did it to Ty Law. He did it to Richard Seymour. He did it to Willie McGinnis. Oh, you thought because, you were Tom Brady, it wasn't going to come to you. Because let me tell you what happened, Skip Bayless. Take that name off the back of the jersey. And this is in line with Coach Belichick normally does. As a player starts to age, he sees some of his production starts to slip, Coach Belichick moves on. But you can't get past the name on the back of that jersey. That's why it hurts so much. Belichick has always been like this. From day one, he has not deviated. He does not allow himself to get close to players because he realizes there's going to come a time that I'm going to have to release you or I'm going to have to trade you. There's a reason why in the military, there's a reason why they don't have higher-ups fraternizing with subordinates. Because there might be a time, Skip, I'm going to have to send you into conflict. And if my judgment is cloudy, it's going to affect whether or not I'm able to do that effectively. So Coach Belichick says, I'm not going to get close to Tom Brady. I'm not going to get close to no D lineman, no O lineman, no linebacker, or anything. So I'm not surprised. And Mr. Kraft was trying to be Switzerland as best he could. He tried to stay neutral, Skip. But at some point in time, he was going to have to make a decision. He was going to have to cross the line one way or another. He was going to have to side with Coach Belichick, or he was going to have to side with Tom Brady. That was his only choice, Skip. And I'm saying, Skip, this is happening. And you saw it happening right before your eyes. And not surprised by this, not in the least. This is who Coach Belichick is. Coach Belichick is. And if you think he was going to be any other way with Tom Brady, because Tom thought and you thought Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls, he should be able to go out whenever we want to. Coach Belichick says, you know what? I put this together. Tom Brady is not staying up late at night while he pillow talking and telling what I'm doing to Giselle. Me and my staff is trying to put together the best roster, the best future players that we possibly can. So, no, I'm in charge. Get to stepping.
You can talk all you want about Lawyer Malloy and Richard Seymour. This is the GOAT you're talking about.
Take the name off the back of the jersey.
It's the GOAT.
Take the name off the back of the jersey. You can't. You can't do it, Skip.
It's number 12. It's the greatest quarterback who ever played, and he's treated like that. That was Giselle's point, and she's right on the money.
Yes.
She's throwing it right in his face, in Robert Kraft's face.
Yeah.
This is the most extraordinary battle for credit this side of Jerry versus Jimmy in Dallas.
This might be more so.
Well, I was going to say, the magnitude here is so much greater because Jerry fired Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson, after they had won back-to-back Super Bowls together, and he finally just couldn't take Jimmy anymore because Jimmy wouldn't give him enough credit and wouldn't treat him with any respect behind the scenes. In this case, this went on for much longer at a much higher level. Because remember, this was after the 2017 season Super Bowl, the one in which Brady had cut his hand open on a handoff. You say it was something in a home accident. What's your take on it? But they sewed his hand up. They did surgery on his hand. He beat Jacksonville, come from 20-10 down in the fourth quarter with 138 yards passing and 2 touchdowns to lead them back to that Super Bowl. 2 weeks later, he throws for 505, an all-time playoff record for any playoff game. 41 to Nick Foles and lose 41-33.
Correct.
And remember, that was when Tom Brady came out here to do a conference. It was a paid gig, obviously, in Santa Monica. And Jim Gray did the moderating and asked him, do you feel the appropriate gratitude from Belichick? And he threw in Robert Kraft. And Brady said, I plead the fifth.
Right.
Which was about the most shocking thing I'd ever heard Tom Brady say, because he says next to nothing publicly. And then Jim Gray asked him, are you happy? And Tom Brady said, I have my moments. Well, this is right in this period in which they're going to war behind the scenes. They're having these nightly mediations at Robert Kraft's house, one between Brady and Belichick, where they sat on kind of opposite sides of the room, and he tried to talk them both down off their position, trade him at the trade deadline. Obviously forced to trade Jimmy G, gave him away to San Francisco out of spite, I believe, for a second-round pick. But remember, after that, next year, Tom Brady went to Mahomes' house and completed 3 straight 3rd and 10 passes in overtime at Kansas City to get them to a Super Bowl. They won. Now, finally, the defense came to play in that Super Bowl. It was more defense than offense. But Brady did direct a game-winning drive, 5 for 5, in the middle of the 4th quarter to win that game. So it kept paying off for Robert Kraft that he barely kept them together. But to me, I've told you from the start, 75% of the credit, in my view, goes to the quarterback over the coach. But the coach believes it's completely the way you see it.
I know he does.
So the coach feels like, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm going on 70 years of age. I deserve the opportunity, which he's got now. I'm going to go win one by myself. I don't need you anymore. So you go wherever you want. I'm going to get the credit for this. I'm going to get full credit for this one. Whether it's with Cam Newton or Jared Stidham or Brian Hoyer, I'm going to get the full credit.
Skip, what's so unusual about this is that the staff says, you know what? I'm going to break. Because normally, Skip, you might have a feeling, but once you get into a room with that person, you start talking, and you're like, you know what? We're more alike than different. And, you know, we got common.
No.
But they stayed on their platform.
They stayed.
They stayed with them. So, in other words, I gained that nobody moved from their position.
Right. So I love how Giselle, she always defends her husband. She'll fight for him. She wanted to fight after that one Super Bowl, the second Eli Super Bowl. She's coming down the elevator. Somebody said something about her husband, and she wanted to throw down.
Oh, remember, and that was the one that Wes Welker dropped the pass, and she said he can't throw and catch. I'm like, whoa, Giselle!
Touche. So I got to tell you, I love this line. She's saying, how can you, after all these years, we're all the way up to post-2017 season, it's 5 Super Bowls out of 8 at that point. How can you continue to treat my husband, Johnny effing Foxborough? I love that. Like just some guy, like some guy from Foxborough. Because in film sessions, he's still, to use her word, you're undressing, so to speak. You know, you're just ripping him to shreds in a film session, and you're treating his trainer, who's Alex Guerrero, who's liability. You're treating him like an outcast. Remember, he threw him off the team plane.
Skip, and for me, and this was always I'm like, I can't believe this, because in all my years, I've never even quarterbacks that weren't of Tom Brady's caliber, but I only played with one. John Elway was a franchise superstar quarterback. But I never heard a coach talk to a quarterback in front of, shocked me, because I had never heard it, never seen it in all my 14 years. I have been around players they had never heard or never seen it. Only there was that possible.
I think Dan Reeves was hard on John.
But not like that. No. He's like, God dang it, John, you know, something like that. But to put on film and say, John, you made a mistake. John, what the hell are you doing?
In front of the team. What? You can't do it.
Man, John.
Nobody's ever done it. And again, Belichick just didn't do it for the first 2 years. He's doing it into years, what, 16, 17.
Skip, and I think Brady was accepting of that, Skip. He's like, you know what? I'm a 6th-round draft pick, won a couple of Super Bowls. But, Skip, as you get older, you're like, hold on, wait a minute. You're still talking to me like I'm a rookie. You're still talking to me like I'm a 3rd-year guy. And at some point in time, you know, he just should have, what he should have done is just go talk to Coach Belichick. Say, Coach, I understand what you're trying to do, but what you're doing is really not effective to me. It's not helping me. It's not motivating me. Actually, it's making me dislike you. I mean, just like you said, you know, like you said Kevin Durant should have talked to Russ and other guys should have talked to Russ. I believe that's what Tom did. That's what I would have done.
So guess what? The game is on. Belichick versus Brady, long distance. Tampa versus Foxborough. Here we go.
Hey, but I tell you what, I bet he won't get no calls like Jimmy G. Oh, Jimmy G be getting them calls. Good job, Jimmy. Good job, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's true. Text. Yeah.
You think you gonna call Brady?
I don't think so.
Brady probably changed the number. Say you can't. Got him on block.
Sure, he's changed his number. There will be no communication there. Their relationship will always remain so fascinating to me, what they were able to achieve, given their differences.
Yes.
Guys, back to Giannis. Has he been overhyped by inflated stats? We debate next.